Hi, folks. Andrew here. Popcorn and whiskey. I am the face who runs the place. Happy 250th birthday, USA. Absolutely. Here we are. Yes, I know I'm dressed like a goof, but hey, so what? You know what? When you celebrate, you have a good time and you're doing all the good stuff. So, salute. Here we go. 250 years. Wow. 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 That's all I got to say. And I am a proud American. Absolutely. See this over here? This is a USA flag and the Italian flag. Why? Because I'm both. I have Italian blood running through me, full-blooded Italian, but I'm a USA through and through. That's how I am. That's how I intend to be, and that's wait a second here. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, Jonathan, if you're watching, dude, I sent you the wrong link. I'm sorry. Okay, JD. Okay, here's a link, and I'll let you know later. Okay, but here's the correct link. You guys will get the joke later. When he comes on, you'll get the joke. So there you go. So those who are joining for the first time, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you want to call in, I do have a number for you to call. Here you go. You can call the show 765 505 7348. Right now, you can call that. If you want to text it, text me something. You can ask me questions about anything. There is no set topic tonight, even though some of the things I will be covering, I got a couple of golf stories, want to get into some dating advice, and let's say celebrate USA 250. How am I going to celebrate it? Don't know. Honestly, haven't planned that out far in advance, but we're here and we're going to have some fun. At least the plan is to do so. So I'm still laughing at what I did a little bit ago. And you guys will understand exactly why. The bad guy, he's already on. So you know what? I will go ahead and bring him on. Wait a second, Jonathan, before you come on. All right, you gotta see this. I'm assuming you can hear me. Okay. So okay, if I could do a second here. Let me get him on. Okay, JD, are you there, my friend?
I am. I am here. Can you hear me?
Okay. For those just joining us, JD is a good buddy of mine. He runs two podcasts, the Boiling Point Podcast and Mayhem Media Entertainment. Or is it Mayhem Media Entertainment or just Mayhem Media?
It's just Mayhem Media.
Okay. All right. I threw the entertainment thing on there. So how this stuff works, when you invite somebody on as a guest, you send them a link. Okay. I already had something in my, I guess, link folder. I don't know what you call it.
Clipboard.
And what was that?
Your clipboard.
My clipboard. That's it. My clipboard. And when I send it to him, I thought I sent him the invite to come on here, but I sent him something completely different. And now I've got to see if I could get it on here. Okay, wait a second here. And once I see if I can get on there, so everybody can see what it is. I got to figure out how I'm going to get it on here. I know I can share the screen. Okay. Okay. Do that. Come over here. And so, JD, what are you doing to celebrate today this weekend? Anything special? What's going on?
No, probably not. My brother and I usually most of the time we get together and do fireworks. We do our own fireworks. Before they got legal in Pennsylvania, we would even my brother would drive to Virginia to get us fireworks.
Okay.
So then we would kind of do our own little show for the family and stuff.
Okay.
But now with my nephew, and we don't live together. In past years, we've lived together, which has made it much, much easier to, get together and set off fireworks or to go get them and to, whatever. But
oh yeah,
since we don't live together right now, I don't know that we're going to get together. Also, it's my nephew's birthday next weekend. So he's kind of busy getting everything prepared for that.
Well, good for him. Good for him. How old is he going to be?
11.
Oh man, he's getting up there. He's
Yeah,
getting up
11
there.
going on 16, I'll tell you.
Okay. So, all right, now I have it all hooked up here. This is what I sent to Jonathan before by mistake. And this is I'm just going to play it here if I can here. Happy 4th of July. Wonder Woman. There you go.
Yep.
See, what I was going to do, and obviously it didn't work, is I was going to open the show with that. But I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to or not, because then people think I'm going to have Wonder Woman as a guest. Like, I'm not going to bother with all that. So I didn't. So I had that on my clipboard. And when I invited JD on a little bit ago, that's what I had on there. So I just thought it was
a regular. I thought you were just sending me something like, hey, happy, 4th. I was thinking, I was like, it's kind of weird. He's getting ready to go on the air and he's sending me this. That's a little weird, but all right. Yeah, great.
Anyway, so cheers, my friend. Here you go.
Absolutely. Happy Independence Day.
That's right. That's right. So let's start off with a couple of golf stories. Now, I am not a golfer. Keep that in mind.
I am not either.
But you offered to give me advice on how to golf. So there you go.
I do. And I have miniature golf. That's where my expertise lies.
All right. So this summer, just by chance, and where I live, there are 2 golf courses in town. One of them, a couple of guys own it, a little younger than me. A family owns it, and the 2 boys are about 10 years younger than I am, about your age or so, Jonathan. JD, give or take a few years, about your age or so. But their family has owned this golf course since the 90s, as far as I can tell. So very nice family. I'm not going to mention any names because it's not fair for me to do so, but it's one of the 2 golf courses. Well, anyway, right before golf season started, they put out a message on Facebook saying that they're looking for people who can help out working in the clubhouse. So I responded to it. So I said, yeah, at the time I was needing work basically. And they said, well, come on in, let's chit chat. Now, of course, we know each other. We're not best of friends. Me and the 2 brothers, we're not best of friends by any stretch of the imagination, but we know each other. Our families know each other, and we've always been cordial and polite and friendly and so on and so forth. You couldn't ask for better people. And just so happens one of the brothers and went to St. Joseph's College. And if you guys didn't know, that's my alma mater, St. Joseph's College. Anyway, I went in there, talked to him. We started talking about our town and different things going on there. And I said, I know nothing about golf, but I'd be more than happy to help you out here at the golf club. So, yeah, basically, they just need somebody to watch the cash register, pour drinks in the clubhouse when somebody needs it, which I have a bartending license, and help with the carts at the end of the day because it's an 18-hole golf course and blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, no problem. I can do it. So I'm working one or 2 days a week, 5 or 6 hours at a time. Very simple. I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary. You don't get paid a whole lot. I give it that much. But one of the benefits is you can play golf whenever you want to out there.
Yeah.
At their course. Now, I don't play golf. I do have clubs. The golf clubs I bought in the 90s, the early 90s, from a place in Indianapolis called Play It Against Sports. And I'm bringing this up because there's a reason I'm bringing all this up. It was called Play It Against Sports. Now, I don't know if you've heard of this or not, JD, but Play It Against Sports, well, at least in Indiana, it was all throughout Indiana. I don't know if it was a national thing or what. But basically, people had old sports equipment or sports equipment they didn't use, whether it's old, new, whatever. They would give to this place, or this place would buy it from them. It's basically a resale place of used sporting equipment. Basically what it was. And then, hence the name Play It Against Sports. So I went in there with a buddy of mine who was a golfer at the time. I lived in Indianapolis. He said, you need to start playing golf. I said, I don't know anything about golf. He said, let's go get you some clubs. I said, I'm not paying $300-400 for a set of clubs.
Yeah.
So we went to Play It Against Sports, and I got a set of 9 irons, or the 2 through 9 iron, and a pitching wedge, and a bag and 2 drivers. If you know anything about golf, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't worry about it. And there's a reason for all this. So I got it all for $50. I think it was $40 actually at the time. So great,
that's not
no
bad.
problem. No. Now I have since replaced the 2 drivers were something, a couple of drivers I got from a Play It Again Sports later on in the 90s for about 10, $20 each, something like that. So there's not a whole lot of money in these clubs. Again, I've had them since the 90s, and I've since upgraded my bag as well, because the bag I had was a puke green older bag that everybody always made fun of. And one guy actually told me, says, you can't golf with me anymore if you don't change that bag. Now, I really didn't care because, again, I didn't golf. The only reason I did it in the 90s is because some of the clients that I had and the businesses I was doing liked to play golf when I didn't, and it was damn expensive to go out to some of these places to play. I remember one place vividly that for 18 holes, it cost $90. I'm like, are you freaking nuts? But I went out there with them and I sucked and didn't get any business out of it. And that told me right there, I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess you got to be good to get business when you play golf with somebody, or at least be halfway decent, which I wasn't. So that was about the extent of my golf career. Throughout the years, I go out maybe once a year, once every couple of years, nothing major. About 4 or 5 years ago, I went out, played in a what they call a scramble, where basically everybody hits the ball and whichever the ball is best, and you go on from that. Like a charity golf thing,
Yeah.
for different organizations here in town. So I played in that a couple times. I noticed on one of my clubs, when I gripped the club and I let go of it, I had black stuff all over my hand. It was like the grips were coming apart.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, I don't care. I don't play enough. I don't really care for this. So I said, eventually, what I'll do, I just probably just get electrical tape and wrap around the grips.
Yep.
Which, I thought that was good, but most people say you probably shouldn't do that. So about 2 years ago, when I was teaching at a high school, one of the students was talking about golf and how he got his golf clubs re-gripped at a local place. I'm thinking that had to be expensive, getting the clubs re-gripped. He goes, no, probably about $10 a club. I'm like, are you serious? He says, yeah. I said, I should bring 2 or 3 of my clubs in there to get re-gripped. The one that's given me the black stuff all over my hand.
Yeah.
Didn't do it for 2 or 3 years until to be about a month and a half ago. I was going to play in a charity fundraiser golf tournament here in town. And I said, I got to get at least that one club re-gripped. And when I was working at the other club, the golf course I work at, an older guy came in and he says, yeah, I'm trying out my new clubs. They just got them re-gripped yesterday. And I said, where'd you do it? He told me to play a place about 10 miles away from here. Like, interesting. I said, I got to go there and check it out. And I said, how much you pay? And he says, it's like $15 a club. I'm thinking, I'm not paying $15 a club. No way. But if I need to get 1 or 2 re-gripped, I'll go in and do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So bring my clubs in, and I bring the one club in that I want re-gripped for certain. And I found out there's 2 or 3 others. I said, well, I'll get one for certain. So I go in and tell the guy, I said, I need to get this re-gripped. I said, matter of fact, I got to get all my clubs re-gripped, but I don't want to pay that much. He says, well, we have these grips down here, $5 each. I'm like, that's it? He says, yeah. I said, are you sure they're $5 each? He goes, yeah. I said, I have 12 clubs. He says, well, why do you have 12 clubs? Like, I don't know. That's the set I got. It has 12 clubs in it.
Yeah.
He says, well, we can re-grip them all. He says, where are they? I sat in my car. He says, well, bring them in. Okay. Brought him in, and there's this older guy shopping around in this golf store. He sees my clubs. He goes, damn, son, how old are those clubs? I'm like, I have no idea how old they are. So I'm looking at the grips, and the guy says, these down here, they're all $5. I'm like, okay. I said, so why are they $5? Because they're used, which is fine with me. I don't mind used grips.
Yeah.
And before he starts with my grips, I'm looking at all the other grips that he has on the wall. And there's 2 other grips over here. They're $5. I said, so why are these $5? He says, because we have so many of them, we're trying to get rid of them all. I said, are they used? He says, nope. I said, I want those.
Yeah.
There's new. I want those. Okay. So they start. I said, can I watch? I'd never seen this process before, which was cooler than hell to watch this thing, to watch this, how they tear off the old grips and everything else.
Yeah.
My clubs were so old, they estimated my clubs to be at least 50 years old, if not older.
Wow.
Right? That's how old these clubs are. And they said these have never been re-gripped. We can tell. and you should re-grip your clubs every 4 or 5 years, but these have never been re-gripped. They were scraping and pulling and tugging and trying to get everything done with these grips. some guy just named Alec Marshall. Hey, Alec, how you doing, buddy? Hello, Andrew. He says, hi, Andrew. Hi, Alec. So these two guys were trying their hardest to get these things regripped and take the old grips off, and they did it. They did it, no problem. And it cost me $60, about 65, $66 with tax and everything else with 12 clubs. Again, they said, why do you need 12 clubs? I was like, I don't know. I don't know why I need 12 clubs. I just have them.
Yeah.
So as they're regripping them, all right, okay, let's back up a couple of years now. I have one club, a 6-iron, and I just remember it because it's 6-iron. I hit it one day, and just by chance, I just held it up like this and pointed it to where the ball was. And at the very end, there's a little bit of a curve in the 6-iron. So I got a little bit of a curve in it. So it's bent a little bit.
Yeah.
Golf clubs aren't supposed to be bent. So fast forward back to where we are doing the regrips. I'm walking around the store looking, and they have several used golf clubs with the bags and everything else. They had one golf bag, one set of golf clubs with the bag for $150. I told the guy, I said, I'll tell you what, how about if I trade mine in right now as is, no problem, as is, and I'll buy this and I'll off your hands for $100. I figured, I might as well upgrade, especially since these clubs are over 50 years old. Might as well get something newer. I'll tell myself. And the guy says, we usually don't do that, but let me see what you got. He goes and picks up the only club, the 6-iron, that has a little bit of a bend to it. And he's walking to the back to show somebody else, and he holds up and goes, wait a second, this club is bent. I'm like, it is. He says, yeah. He says, we can't do anything with the bent clubs. I'm like, fudge.
Yeah.
Of the 12 clubs I have, the one he picks up is the one that's bent a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyway, I ended up getting my clubs regripped. Again, 12 clubs, don't need them. And I realized now, because I'm playing more, because the place I'm working lets me play for free. That's one of the perks of working there. So this last week or two, I've gone out there 4 times. Now, I only played 9 holes at a time because 18, that's just way too much, too long. Now, I play by myself. I don't go with anybody else because I use Andrew rules on the golf course.
Yeah.
If Andrew wants to hit another ball, he'll hit another ball.
Yeah.
If he wants to say he shot it in 5 instead of 10, he'll put down he shot it in 5 instead of 10. So those are Andrew rules. But I tell you what, the first time I went out, played the 9 holes, I had the best time I have ever had on the golf course. I was by myself, no pressure anywhere.
Yeah.
Just having fun. And I shot a respectable 49 for the front 9. I guess that's not the greatest, but it's not bad either.
Yeah.
Okay. So the second time I went out, I said, I'm going to try the back 9. And while I was out there, I actually shot a couple of videos of me teeing off.
Yeah, I saw a couple of them.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun. And I thought I hit it into the water but I didn't, because this was a shorter hole and you have to clear some water. And when I got down to the green, I was just off of the green, so I did pretty good with that one. And finished out the round. Didn't do as hot as I did with the front 9, because back 9's a lot better, a lot harder, I should say. So I told myself yesterday, I said, I got to redeem myself on this back 9. Again, I usually golf once a year, once every 2 years. So this will be the 3rd time I have golfed this year, which was yesterday. So the 3rd time, because I played in that charity fundraiser a few weeks ago, and now the last week, and then yesterday. This is the 3rd time I've golfed. So I go back out there yesterday, and I walk into the clubhouse, and the 2 brothers are there, the owners, and plus a couple of other workers there, and we start chit-chatting. I said, yeah, I got to redeem myself and go out there and do this. Well, the hole number 10 is right next to the clubhouse. No one else is on the course. At least it was in the middle of the course. They weren't. No one's in front of me, no one's behind me, so no pressure. I'm about ready to tee off, and everybody comes out of clubhouse. Okay, we're going to watch you now. You better hit this thing. I'm like, I don't need an audience. Last thing I need is an audience.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, but if I miss this or I muff it up, you guys have to make fun of me. They said, no problem, we will.
Yeah.
Because these guys are pros. One of the brothers used to be on a PGA tour, and he toured around the world as a caddy for one a big PGA guy. So once again, I'm not going to disclose any names because I haven't given permission to do so. But so these guys know their golf inside and out. Put it that way.
Yeah. So
I hit a respectable tee off shot.
Respectable. You shank it?
I didn't shake it. No, I hit it straight.
Right.
Didn't go very far, but I hit it straight and it was up in the air. So it wasn't a worm burner either. So that was good. So I'm playing a few more holes, and I get to hole number. Let me see. 16. It's hole number 16. You tee it off, and you have to hit it straight, because if you hit it to the right, you go into high grass and you will never find it. If you hit it to the left, you're going to hit some woods. All right, teed it off, hit it right into the woods. Not good. Next one, I said I might as well get another one here. Teed off again into the high grass. Did it 2 more times. Lost 4 balls. I found 2 on the course. I was -2 golf balls.
Yeah.
After that, I said, you know what? The golf gods are saying I shouldn't be here, so I left. Didn't even finish the holes. I just left. I said, you know what? Again, I'm playing by myself. I'm not paying because this is one of the perks I get here. I don't feel bad about leaving. Again, the golf gods were saying you shouldn't be here today. I'm out of here.
Yeah. That's how, hey, sometimes, man, there's just some days where, you're just not on your game.
Mm-hmm. And so I went back today. I said, I got to do it again today. I had time this morning. I was kind of pissed off because long story short, I got a rejection letter from a bank for a position I applied for. Pissed me off again. Don't get me started with this one. But I said I'm just going to go out there and have fun playing some Andrew golf. Getting to hole number 7. And I don't know if you saw, I put a video today. So they have the golf ball washer where you put your golf ball in and basically you scrub it up and down, basically.
Yeah.
So I had found 2 balls already. So I'm +2 at this point. And so I'm washing the ones I found, and the 2 I'm actually using, I'm washing those. On the apparatus, the ball scrubber.
Yeah.
There's a butterfly on the side there. And as I'm putting the balls in and I'm pulling the thing up and down, the butterfly is literally within an inch of my hands going up and down, pulling this thing, and he's not going to fly away. Huh. I said, okay, little butterfly, I don't want you to get hurt or anything. So I went and I blew on it, and it flew away, and it landed on my hand. It flew around, it came back and landed on my hand. Like, that's interesting. Now, I don't wear golf gloves. Okay. Golf gloves. Yeah. I have weightlifting gloves. Why? Because I'm a fitness guy. So I have weightlifting gloves I use out there. So it's landed on my glove. I walk back to my golf cart. So I'm going to tee off in the next hole. And I said, okay, buddy, I don't want you getting hurt, so you got to get out of here. So I blew on him again. He wouldn't leave. Blew him harder, and he flew away, flies around the inside of the golf cart, and flies around again and lands back on my hand.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's when I took a video today of this. I'm like, this is interesting.
I must have missed that one today. Yeah.
Yeah, this butterfly just on my hand. Like, this is interesting. So I take a video of it. I said, okay, buddy, you got to leave. You got to leave. So I blew it off again, and he finally flew away. So I go and I tee off, and I hit a worm burner. I said, I'm doing this again. So I tee off again, hit it great. But if you go to the left a little bit, you're going to get into the high grass. I'm like, well, shoot. I don't know if I missed a high grass or what. So I got back in my cart, and I happened to look on my arm, and on the back of my arm right there, the butterfly's attached to it again on my arm. And I said, okay, it's not going to hurt anything there. I'm going to make sure, I don't put my arm on anything, so I don't want to hurt it. Yeah. So you can ride with me. I called him Buddy the Butterfly.
Yeah.
So I said, I know where this ball is because it's a worm burner. I said, let's go see if we can find the other one. He's on my arm. He's right there, attached to me still.
Yeah.
So I said, there's no one behind me. No one's in front of me. I don't have any hurry to do anything. So I'm looking around. I don't find my golf ball, but I find 6 others in there. So now I'm +6 for the day. Actually, +7 because I found one earlier as well. So I'm +7 for the day. Well, +6 because I lost one. So I'm +6 golf balls for the day. And after I find the 6, I get back to my cart. I look, and the butterfly is gone.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And the rest of the time, I played out with just 1 ball. I hit it solid every time. So it was good.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's a heck of a story. That's
those
some
are my
weird
golf
stuff
stories.
happening there. Yeah.
Again, Andrew Ball. That's how I call it. Andrew rules.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, when you're out there just for fun, who cares, right?
Yeah. So, which leads me to my question to you. When you saw me tee off the other day, you said you're
Yeah.
going to give me some pointers.
Yeah.
What pointers? Okay, give me some pointers.
You got to keep your head up a little more. You got your head down a little too far.
Because I'm watching the ball.
You can put your eyes down and keep your head up.
Okay.
And your position with the golf ball in relation to the golf ball, you should back up a little bit more. It should be a little bit closer to your front foot.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, how can you tell from that angle how it was? Because it wasn't the side view; it was from behind me.
The other reason is because you have your legs too far apart.
My legs too far apart.
It looked like it from the video that I seen. Yeah, you look like you had a wide stance there.
Okay.
I could be mistaken about that, but yeah, the position of the ball, you want it more a little bit closer to your front foot.
Okay. All right. I did not know that. So I got a comment from Bill here. Let's see here. He says, yeah, that's got to be your dad playing golf with you. You know, right away, that's what I thought, because I've heard this before. If a butterfly flies around or something like that, it's somebody close to you who's passed away or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's my first thought, is because the butterfly wouldn't go away and it kept landing on me. So I'm thinking, it's got to be my dad. And Bill, I thought this was what? It's got to be my dad. Maybe something's up with my mom. So I called my mom while the butterfly's still on there. I called my mom. She goes, no, everything's fine here. Blah, blah, blah. So we talked for a few minutes. I said, all right, no problem. So that was my first thought. My dad was there. My dad never played golf a day in his life. He didn't know anything about golf.
Yeah.
He didn't know anything about golf. So if it was him, I don't know, but it was the weirdest thing.
Maybe he was there to give you encouragement. You said when you left right in the middle before you completed the back nine. Sounded like maybe you were a little discouraged by that.
That was yesterday.
But I'm just saying, because yesterday you were discouraged, maybe today was like a sign, like, oh no, hey, you're doing it for fun. Don't get discouraged. Okay. It seemed like you got distracted by you were about the butterfly there for a couple of holes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, now, if I didn't relay this in the story, it's my fault. Because I'm playing golf by myself and no one else is around, the whole pressure of doing good is gone. All right. Now, I've had that before. So when I decided the golf gods didn't want me playing anymore, I wasn't discouraged. I was like, I'm done. Now, if I would have paid to play, I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
But since I'm not paying to play, because again, it's a perk of me working there, I said, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. It could have been the discouragement, and it could have been the being pissed off because of the bank sent me the "we don't want you around us anymore" letter this morning.
Yeah, that can do it too.
The rejection letter, but that bank pissed me off. I can tell you stories about that, but we're here to celebrate the 250th, to have a good time with it. So once again,
cheers. And I'm telling you, you make a few adjustments in your some of my suggestions. Use some of my suggestions, and then let me know if they helped you.
All right. So you're saying back away from the ball?
No. I'm sorry. No, not back away from the ball. Your left foot should be more parallel with the ball.
The left foot should.
Yeah, your left foot should be parallel with the ball. Not away, not your distance from the ball. Your distance where you're standing in relation to the ball. You were standing too far forward, it looked like.
Okay. I'm breaking one of my cardinal rules of wearing glasses when you do this, because you see this over here?
Yeah.
The light. So I'm trying to adjust that. So, okay. So I got to ask this, and it's not being mean or anything.
Yeah, no, of course.
but where did you get this golf knowledge?
My Uncle Randy used to watch golf a lot. He was a sports guy. He taught me a lot about what I know about football, actually.
Okay.
And my Uncle Randy and my Aunt Judy, I would go over to their house every couple of weekends. And stay the weekend. I don't know if it was to give my parents a break or if it was just maybe, whatever. I don't know if that had anything to do with it at all. But I would
Okay.
go over there. I went over there because I liked seeing him. I liked spending time with him. So I
Right,
would go
right,
over
right.
every few weekends, and he would always have sports on, whatever it was. If it was
Right,
football season, it'd
right.
be football, baseball, basketball. Golf was one of those things that he would put on. And you know, when you're sitting there watching it for hours, and you ask questions, you start asking questions, and he's got the
Mhm.
answers.
Mhm.
So that's where I learned a lot of my sports knowledge. And my dad, though not with golf.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'll try next time I go out, I'll remember that. I'll try to making my left foot more parallel with the ball.
Yep.
See how that is. Because everyone I played with in the past, like I said, I only played once a year, once every couple of years. But every time I go out and play, I shank probably more than I hit it straight. But when I hit it straight, I killed the ball. And from what everybody was telling me is your swing sucks, but you have so much muscle.
Yeah.
You're just muscling the ball out there. Again, that's not a bragging thing,
No,
folks.
no,
If you
no.
don't know, I'm a little bit bigger than the average guy. Yes, I'm heavier in the belly, but I also have an upper body probably bigger than the most guys my age. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
just say that. Yeah. And again, not a bragging thing. It's just, and I don't want to say it's genetics. It's just because I work out.
Yeah.
So the muscle thing comes into play there.
I
Um,
think if you worked on your position in relation to the ball, I think that you would not shank it. Your shanking is coming from your incorrect positioning in relation to the ball because
okay.
it's hitting the side of the club and then shanking off the side. You want to hit it center in the dead center part of the club, and the reason you want it parallel with your lead foot is because that's where you're going to get the most power out of your forward swing.
Okay.
When you shift that weight from the back leg to the front on the forward swing, that's right there. If you have it parallel with your foot, like right in the line with your lead foot, then on
Mm-hmm.
that forward swing, when you shift your weight, you're gonna hit that ball, and you're likely gonna even get some more pop off of it.
Okay. All right. Because what I'm finding out, I'm either hitting it really high or a line drive. But I'm also usually slicing the ball. I very, very seldom hook it. I slice it. And the ones who don't know, and I found this out recently, is a slice goes away from you. So if you're right-handed and you swing it, it curves off to the right. If you're
Mhm.
left-handed, it curves off to the left. That's a hook. So a slice goes away from you, a hook comes into you. So I'm always
Yep.
slicing the ball, and I guess it's the way I'm holding my club when I hit the ball.
And I
One of
think
the
that's
things.
and again, I think that's due to where you're positioning yourself. When you go up to it, try and at least, if nothing else, try and pick the same position for every, especially on the drive. I mean,
Okay.
it's also for the green and stuff too, but especially on the drive, try and make sure that you're standing in the same position in relation to the ball every time, and
Mm-hmm.
then start slowly making adjustments. If you sliced it or you hooked it the wrong way, then maybe adjust your position. That might have been what it was.
Okay. All right. So in my putter, I think it's a reject from an old putt course. The putter. I have such an old putter, but you know what?
That is the
As
extent of my on hands golfing is miniature golf.
There you go. There you go.
My dad
But
took me. My dad took me miniature golfing. So
well, that'd be cool.
yeah, he did, and we would go everywhere. My dad was always one that it didn't matter where we were if we were going to the movie theaters. That was back before they had ramps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He would make the movie theater get enough staff to lift my chair down the steps.
Oh, cool.
So, and same with golf. When we would go miniature golfing, we would, it didn't matter. He'd be like, "You can get your chair up over that brick," and I'm like, "Yeah, but what if I damage it?" And he'd be like, "If they cared about people in wheelchairs, then there'd be handicap access. If you can get up over that brick, let's go."
And you got over that brick.
I got up over that brick, yeah. With the help of him and my brother, there was one hole that I couldn't do, and it was only because there was like a gigantic. It was like a drop pit. It was like a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like a drop pit, and there wasn't enough room for me to get by there, so I had to go out and around that hole. That was the only hole that I wasn't able to get to or to
Okay.
do.
Okay. I'm going to change subjects real quick here because you
Yeah.
mentioned that you're handicapped, which if everybody pays attention to me or your shows, they know you're handicapped. You're in a
Yep.
wheelchair. Okay.
Yep.
So I get this message from somebody yesterday out of the blue. apparently him and I are Facebook friends, and I don't know who this guy is. Apparently he's a local town to me. I get so and you'll understand the connection here in a second. So out of the blue, he says, "How do you become an entrepreneur?" That was the question. It's out of the blue. We never talked before.
Yeah.
I said, "Just start a business and go," is my reply to him. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how else to answer that. And he says, "Do I need to go to school for it or scholarship?" I said, "Nope." He says, "Okay, I just don't understand because I have disabilities and I don't know what anything means." So far, I don't know what he's talking about here. I said, "So why are you asking me?" I asked him, fair question, right? Why are you asking
Yeah.
me? He says, "Because I want to me one." I guess he wants to be one.
Yeah.
I said, then he says, "But never mind." And I said, "Again, why are you asking me?" And he sends me an audio message basically saying, "Because I want to be one. I just told you." I said, "Find someone who's doing what you want to do, then ask them." Pretty
Yeah.
pretty solid advice, right? I mean, I don't know what
Yeah.
else to tell the guy. He says, "You do not need to be so damn disrespectful to me. I only asked you a question." Now, where was I disrespectful?
Yeah. I don't. It doesn't sound like you were being disrespectful. It sounds like maybe he wanted some more help from you than maybe you were even understanding.
Yeah,
So it sounds
which
like a
is fine.
miscommunication. And yeah, people, I mean, listen, that whole message thread sounds that I had so many red flags until you said the voicemail. If he sent you a voice message, then you
Yes,
know he's a real person. If it wasn't robotic and you weren't suspecting anything, then you know he's a real
yes,
person. But there
yes.
were too many red flags in that conversation. I was about to be like, what's this person's name? And does it sound like they might not be a real person?
No, he's from my town, and we have a lot of mutual friends.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah. I mean, yeah. But see, but it seems like I mean, maybe he has trouble typing on the keyboard. Then maybe
It
that's the
could be
next
it
thing.
because if he wouldn't have been so, you know, short fused,
Yeah,
I was going to tell him, say, "Hey, maybe I can get my buddy JD on this because he's uh, probably more capable of answering what you got going on than I am. He's an entrepreneur and he has disabilities as well." But when he says you don't have to be so damn disrespectful, I'm thinking, you know what? You can kiss my butt, buddy.
yeah.
Yeah, at that
And
point.
if he's listening right now, it depends on what you want to do. I guess that's really ultimately. I think that's what Andrew was trying to
Yeah.
relay. Is it depends on. I mean, if you want to be a podcaster, then asking Andrew would make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But or if you want to be a fitness person, then asking Andrew would make more sense. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Yeah.
if you want to be an inventor or if you want to do something else, then Andrew might
Wouldn't
listen to the
be
person to be asking more
exactly.
questions or follow-up questions
If you
about
want
it.
to be a
So
golfer, I'm not your guy either.
yeah. And
Yeah.
disabilities, and let me say this to everybody who's listening, because listen, there's a lot of people in the world that think that they have a disability, and I'm not going to speak for somebody who's gotten a disability. I was
Mhm.
born with this disability.
Right. Right.
We're about to release an episode of a really good talk on the Boiling Point podcast. Me and
Mm-hmm.
Connor had on somebody. He became paralyzed. He
Okay.
became disabled, and we talk about the differences in that between being born with it and then having something happen to you, and now you're disabled.
Right. Right. Right.
So, and I don't, to be honest with you, I don't care which it is.
Mm-hmm.
Being in a wheelchair doesn't give you a blank check to be, an a-hole.
Right.
If you want to keep it PG tonight, Andrew, I don't want to
Yeah.
swear on your show
That's
and then
fine. That's
drive
fine. Yeah.
viewers
Yeah.
away. Yeah. But, it doesn't give you a blank check to be an a-hole. I mean, and I've met plenty of people in wheelchairs who are complete royal a-holes,
Mm-hmm.
and I can be one myself too, but there's you can't, just because you're in a chair doesn't mean you can be an a-hole. It's not just like a
Right.
blank check. So his hostility seemed a little bit quick. You didn't understand what he was trying to ask you, which was completely reasonable based on what I've heard in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say is, disability or not, you still have to communicate with people, and if that's a problem, communicating for you is a problem, whether it's typing on a phone or typing on a keyboard, then voice message. There are voice messages on Facebook,
Right.
and there's
Right.
other ways to do it. So, but yeah, don't just be an a-hole because you have a disability and you asked for help. I can assure you, Andrew's one of the nicest people who's going to be, if it's ask him for help, he'll likely help you if you're not an a-hole.
Yeah, because it's asshole. Go ahead, say asshole.
Yeah, I can assure you there's plenty of people out there that you're going to ask help from who are going to tell you to take a long walk off a short pier.
Yeah,
and they're not going to care whether or not you're in a wheelchair or not. You're going to face, if you want to be a content producer, you need way more thicker skin than what you have right now.
Yes, you do.
So I would advise you to take a deep breath and figure out what it is you want to do. I think it's great for people with disabilities to be an entrepreneur. In this
Absolutely,
country,
it is. Yes.
In this country, we have in our free capitalist economy, we have the ability to do that, even on fixed incomes. I've built the Boiling Point podcast and Mayhem Media with some help from my friends, absolutely, but on my own, on my fixed limited income. So you just have to make it work, whatever it is. To anybody who's out there, figure out what it is you want to do and then just start doing it. That is the best advice Andrew or I could give you for being an entrepreneur, regardless of what it is you want to do. Pick what it is you want to do and then just do it, because you can sit and talk about it and you can plan about it. And that was one thing that my friend said before I started the podcast. He said, but just do it. Just start.
Yep.
If you start, then you will continue. But if you just sit around talking about it and you never get started, you're not going to get anywhere.
One of my favorite phrases I've heard, and I don't know if this is in the Bible or not, and I'm not trying to get religious or biblical on anybody, but somebody once told me, God cannot steer a parked car. So if you're not moving, to me, it means if you're not moving, you can't readjust your direction you're going. If you're standing still, you're never going to get anywhere.
Yep. That's absolutely
God
the
can't
truth.
steer a parked car.
Yeah, absolute truth. Always forward, move forward, always forward. Learn from your mistakes.
Because you will make them. You will make mistakes.
Yeah, you're going to make them. Yeah, learn from them. And I'm not saying like don't look in the past, but learn from your mistakes and then move forward. Once you figured out what you've learned from a mistake, move on. Don't focus on it. Don't dwell on it. Figure out what you've needed to learn and then go forward. Always forward.
And I'll say this much, and I'll speak for you, JD. I don't think the internet has enough bandwidth for me and you to have a podcast on all the mistakes we've made in doing this stuff.
Oh, no way. Oh, yeah. We could be here. Oh, you kidding me? We'd be here for weeks. I mean, we could fill 8 hours just on the mistakes we've probably made just in content producing.
I could spend 10 hours on what I made mistakes today already. What the heck?
Yeah. That's if it was like our lives, then sit back and get ready for the next, 152 weeks of episodes.
You will make mistakes no matter what you try doing. You will make mistakes. Deal with it. Move on.
Yeah. Mistakes can be overcome if you make them, and you're going to make them. Make them big. Learn from them, make adjustments, and move forward. That's the best advice anybody can give anybody when you want to be an entrepreneur, is just you got to start, though. That's the best advice I can give you. Start.
I got this podcast thing and live stream thing pretty down pat. All right. And so does JD. We both can get on here and do solo shows for hours.
Oh, yeah.
That's not an issue. My issue has always been, and still is, and I will freely admit this, is marketing, is getting myself out there, enough eyeballs to see my stuff. That has always been my issue. I don't know why, and I am still struggling to overcome that, but it's little by little, it's working, no matter what. But getting behind or in front of this mic, however you want to look at it, piece of cake. Same thing for JD. Piece of cake.
At this point, I have something like probably 350 or maybe even 400 of my own content episodes that I've done. If you count other guest appearances and stuff, then I'm probably closing in on 500.
Yeah. Well, we can both speak for hours doing solo on this. That's not an issue.
Yeah. And if you're a content producer and you want to be an entrepreneur and you're making you want to make a podcast or a show, then the very first piece of advice that I can give you is confidence in front of the camera. You're not going to have it when you start.
No,
you're going to have to develop it.
Yes. And if you do live streaming, You will make mistakes on live stream. Deal with it, move on.
Yep.
it's, it's just that simple. If you
And
think
don't
you're
try
going
and
to
cover
be
it up. Embrace it.
no,
You made a mistake. Oh, I messed this up. Let me fix it. Like,
yeah,
don't try and sweep it under rug. That becomes more noticeable. Own it. Own your
own it.
mistakes, and people are going to enjoy it. People will consider it entertaining.
And that's and I've talked about this often. There's a radio program I listen to, the Lex and Terry Morning Radio Show. They've been on air for 30 plus years. I've been listening to them since 2007 ish, off and on, and then since religiously since 2011. I don't think I've ever missed an episode. I've subscribed to their podcast and I listen to them, and they will both freely tell you that they make mistakes on air all the time live.
Oh, yeah.
But they are probably the most respected. Now, I don't say most respected, but they've been doing this longer than most people out there, longevity wise. And because of their no nonsense, I don't give an F attitude at their beginning, a lot of people, a lot of stations disregard them and won't put them on. Now they are syndicated, and I don't know how many stations they are, but on every station they're on, they are number one in their market. So they're very good. And I'm hoping to get Terry on this show, from the Lex and Terry show. I'm hoping to get him on here. He said he'd come on. I just gotta make sure I am in a position where I'm actually going to be on, because my show, as you know, sometimes it's on, sometimes it's not. I just gotta make sure I'm on, and he'll be more than happy to be a guest. I have already reached out to him, which will be fun.
Nice.
That'd be good. So anyway, speaking of content producing, this is called a segue, folks, for us professionals in the business here. So, excuse me. Let me have a sip here. Salute it, by the way.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, USA. Here we go.
Yep, absolutely. And it's always nice to have a segue into your next segment, because otherwise, when it's some of those hard transitions, those are much more noticeable.
So, it goes into content producing and everything else. Because of the position I am in with my health and fitness stuff, I follow a lot of fitness and health influencers as well. All right. Do we follow each other? Don't know if they follow me or not, but I follow a lot of them. This particular person recently accepted my friendship. So we are actually friends on Facebook. We've never spoken. We've never messaged. We've never done anything like that. She is very, very, very thin. And she's very, I don't want to say she doesn't have muscles bulging out of her, but she is, and I'm not going to mention her name because it's irrelevant what I'm going to talk about here, but very thin, very defined. I don't know how, it's less than 10% body fat, but she is extremely healthy as well. Yeah. She provides cooking advice, weight loss, fitness. She's the total package, basically. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. I like that kind of physique on a woman. That's just me. So she posted something today of her, and she's 50 years old, like 51 or 52. She's in that range, and she can more than beat any 25-year-old in a swimsuit, in my opinion. So she posted something today about her in a bikini, which is fine. That's what those kind of influencers do. You're not going to see me posting in a swimsuit because I don't look good in a swimsuit. But that's what they do. That's how they attract their clients. I get it. No problem. It's called marketing, especially if you're an attractive female. Marketing. Yep. As I'm reading through the comments, there are so many guys, and this pissed me off and made me embarrassed to be a guy for them to be in the same what's it called? Gender as me. And they're saying, eat a sandwich. You're too thin. I need more meat on my bones if I'm going to be with a woman, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, if that's what you like, great. But why are you posting that on her site, on her comments? Why? You're not going to, you're not making yourself attractive or anything. You're making yourself look like an ass. Simple as that. Why bother posting it? It's like if I would be on there talking about health and fitness, which I do, and people say, well, you're a fat slob, you shouldn't be doing anything. Okay. To you, maybe I am, but why are you posting it on my site? I'm providing content. Why you have to be hateful? I don't get it. So what I'm saying is, as you be a content creator, like we talked about, you're going to get hate.
Oh, yeah.
JD's recently ran into that in a major way from some of the things he's been posting.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh
but
yeah.
if you're the person that posts the hate, F off. F you.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What good is it doing to anybody because you're showing off your hate? What good is that doing? Have I been guilty of that in the past? Probably.
Oh
Can I
yeah.
remember it? No, but I probably have been. Now I'm at the point, if I don't like you or if I don't like what you're doing, why am I going to say something to you? What's
Yeah.
the point? There's no
Even when I
point in it.
comment, even when I comment if I disagree with somebody or something, like if it's like another podcast page or something, like I'm trying, like I'm not mean about it. I'm respectful. I'm like, hey, I disagree with this. Here are my reasons why. And I
Mhm.
get that on the, I do actually get some of those people on the Boiling Point podcast page too. A few people who are human beings who can disagree with me
Mhm.
without saying how much they hate me.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So the problem is just that most of them are not. That's the main issue, is that most of the people who disagree with what I post are just immediately like, "Oh, I hate you." So that's usually the problem that I run into. But there's a few people who actually disagree and want to have a debate. And even when I respond to them on the page, I'm like, "Hey, thanks for your opinion. Thanks for commenting.
Mhm.
I disagree with your statement. This is why. Thanks for commenting. Please come back more. I like people who engage and
Right.
people who
Right.
disagree, and can do it as a human being. So, I just posted something else that's now going semi-viral. It's a post of something that happened here locally, actually, here in Harrisburg.
Okay.
And some ICE agents tried to stop somebody. They had him. It was clearly they clearly had him pulled over. Okay, that's pretty clear from the video.
Mhm.
And after multiple repeated orders to get out of the vehicle, this person put it in gear, drove up over the sidewalk, hit an ICE agent's car, sped down the street, hitting another car on the way.
Oh, jeez.
And only reason I posted it is because another local, and I don't want to call them a news source. It's so degrading to other actual legitimate news sources. They're called Penn Live, and they posted this video which clearly shows what happened. It's the full video. It clearly shows what happened.
Mhm.
But with the headline, ICE lied. The mayor of Harrisburg wants an investigation, blah, 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 blah. I
Right.
watched the video and I said, nope. Looks pretty clear cut to me. It's a stop. It's a federal agent stop. You've
Mhm.
been given a lawful order to get out of a car. At that point, and this is what I posted in my description when I grabbed the video and posted it on my page. I put it with a whole description. I said, listen, at this point, you are free, you are obliged, after given a lawful order to get out of your car, to get out of your car and to obey the federal agents or police officers, whoever it
Mhm.
may be. At
Mhm.
that point, you are free to avail yourself of our entire justice system. Our entire justice system is at your disposal at that point.
Yep.
But the whole arrest, there's not really constitution, like you don't have constitutional rights there. When you're being arrested, your constitutional right is to oblige and then use the criminal justice system to prove your guilt or innocence.
Right.
So but even that video, people were like, well, what I see is this. And I just commented back and I'm like, clearly you watched a different video. They're
Mhm.
like, oh, this person didn't hit the ICE car. What was illegal about what they did? I'm like, really? There's people in the world that can look at this and think, what did they do wrong? It's astonishing to me. So
Oh, yeah.
even on that video, and I get hate, as you know, just from posting video in context. I'm not even giving commentary on the video. It's just an actual video. This is
Yep.
what happened. And I get hate for just posting it.
Well, that's interesting because that's going to be another segue into what I want to talk about next. Dating. And I brought this up because somehow this particular female, and I'm not going to mention who it is again, is in my algorithm, and I'm getting videos of her all the time, and she's talking about her dating life. And her dating life also revolves around political stuff, which,
Yeah.
if that's what you want to get into with your dating life, great. But here's my thing. If you don't agree with someone's political view in a hatred kind of way, why do you wait before you're out on a date with that person to find out whether they agree with you politically or not? If it's, and I'm not saying that you should lead with that, but if it's so ingrained into you that the only people you want to date are the same ones who think the same way of you politically, regardless of what that is, why do you want to wait until you're on your date before you do so? Does that make sense how I'm phrasing this?
Yeah, absolutely. I understand exactly what you mean. And
If you don't care, so what?
Yeah.
Right? So let's say, and I'm going to go way off the reservation here for a second, JD.
Yeah.
Let's say I lean left, you lean right. We are both attracted to each other. Okay, in a romantic type of way.
It's going to be a hard thing to visualize here, but
yeah,
let's go.
Very, very hard to visualize. Exactly. Extremely hard to visualize. But if my beliefs is such that I do not want to date anybody who leans right, and if they do, I don't want anything to do with them, would I not ask you or talk to as we're talking? Because it's not going to be one of these things where, hey, JD, I got your phone number. Let's hook up tomorrow night and go out to dinner. No, we're going to talk on the phone once or twice at least, are we not? I would assume so. And at that point, if that's such my belief that there's no way I want to be seen with somebody who leans right because I lean left, there's no way. Wouldn't I want to bring that up in a conversation to begin with? I mean, am I off my rocker here or what?
No, I would think so. I mean, I would think so. I think a lot of people don't want to talk about that stuff for fear of if they disagree, then, oh, now I have to hate this person who I want to like. Again, because of identity politics.
Dang, you went super left, didn't you, quick? Mike, it's an example, okay? Again, it's an example. So the thing is, so this person, it's a female. She was talking. She was on a date with the gentleman, and asked him who he voted for on the date. And she said him hawed around a little bit, but through him hawing around, she realized who he voted for and did not want to be with anymore. So she left. She goes, I paid for the dinner and I left. Just left him at the table. Like, so if that's that important to you, why do you not seek that out to begin with? I guess I don't understand that so much.
I mean, that's something that I would obviously want to find that out first before I started investing time in it. To me, it sounds like this person might have known that, and for content purposes, talking about content producers, it sounds like she did it on purpose, specifically so she could shoot the video.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yes. And I told you about a friend of mine. Well, I still consider her a friend. She doesn't like me at all. Who business-wise, we were hitting it off great business-wise. Then when I posted something on the Olympics when JD Vance was at the Olympic opening ceremonies, I said, "Hey, there's JD Vance, go USA." She blew a gasket. Couldn't believe I said something like that. You must support him. I don't want to be any friends with yours because you're a pedophile. You're a this. You're a that. You're a this. Oh yeah, she went off.
She's talking about the wrong side.
Yeah. And all I did was, hey, there's JD, the VP JD Vance. I said, go USA. And then she went off the handle.
Yeah. Well, the Democrats are most of those things she was accusing you or Republicans of. So she got a little identity crisis happening there. See, in that instance, though, it's best to find that out early. Dating and what's next. I assure you we're not dating.
No, Mike, I assure you we're not. No, JD, no way, shape, or form.
No. JD doesn't swing that way.
Hey, if you did, none of my business. And I'd have, my belief is if you like that, go for it, whatever. It doesn't mean I'm not going to not like you or disrespect you or anything. Hey, none of my business what your romantic endeavors are.
If people would, I don't have if you're keeping it private and keeping it quiet to yourself, then I definitely don't give a crap. We live in a free country and you're allowed to do whatever you want in your own home. I definitely don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. For me, I don't even care if you keep it private. I mean, if you want to be an openly gay, flaming homosexual, yes, I said it. I have a good friend. If he's still alive, I don't know. We haven't talked in 15, 20 years. But at the time, he told me I can use the phrase flaming homosexual, especially when I talk about him, he said. So you can use that about me. I don't care. If
No, I
that's
don't care.
if that's how you want to portray yourself, if that's how you act, that's you want to put that publicly, great, fine, great. You can come on my show. We can chit chat. I've been hit on by so many guys in the past, and because of the different professions I've been in and activities I've been in, I've been a waiter at a restaurant and a bartender at a restaurant. There were, let's just say, alternative lifestyle guys there.
Yeah.
I was in the dance community, ballroom and swing dance community for a good 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Very much entrenched in it. If you don't think there are alternative lifestyle folks in the dance community, you're out of your rocker here. I've been hit on by so many guys, and I say, I'm flattered. Thank you for thinking of me that way, but I don't go that way. We're good. We're cool. Hey, no problem. It's just like me going up to a girl and shooting my shot with a girl, and she says no. Okay. Why am I going to get mad if somebody finds me attractive? If I'm not going to reciprocate,
Yeah.
next,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
I have one of my best friends is gay. I'm not going to mention his name because he absolutely doesn't want to be in the public eye. He was one of the guys who started the podcasting with me at the beginning. And then he actually is on a couple of episodes, but then decided after a couple episodes that he just did not want to be in the public eye. I don't blame him for that.
Right.
It's a pain in the ass. So, but he's gay, and he's a Democrat, leftist, liberal, like the whole like everybody who hates me is probably would agree with everything he says. We know we disagree, so we don't talk about politics. We stick to talking about things our common interests.
Right.
So, and I'm friends with his husband. They know that I'm not like keen on that necessarily, but I'm also not going to hate them either. Like I'm not. No matter what I say, they're not going to change. I know that. So I'm not gonna. Why would they're my friends? I can still be their friend even if they don't believe what I believe.
I'm not gonna not like you, and you being anybody out there, because of your thinking differently than me, whether it be relationships, politics, family, religion, what have you. As long as you're respectful of me, I'll be respectful of you, and I'll be supportive of you. Simple as that. I mean, I don't know how else to phrase it than that. I mean, it's there's too many people out there that if you say you lean left or you lean right politically, that all of a sudden they hate you because of that.
Yeah.
Well, that's not how society should function.
No.
And again, if you're a male and you say that you like males versus females, I'm not going to hate you because of that. If that's what you like, that's what you like. And it's same. And I'll put this on me. I like the thin females. Okay. Thin, healthy females. I don't like the thickness of females. I don't want to say I don't like it. I'm not attracted to it. Okay.
Yeah.
If your attraction is such that you like the more voluptuous women, so be it. So be it. Who am I to say you're wrong? If that's what you like, what you like. And I'm going to do a show on this where I like what I like. I'm going to do a show on that because I have it written down over here. I'm going to have a whole bunch of things talking about that.
Yeah. I mean, we in this country we live in, you're not breaking any laws by, well, within reason, I guess. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously. But if you're just gay or whatever, then you can, it doesn't, we live in a free country. You can do that. We may be a Judeo-Christian. I say this on my podcast a lot, that our beliefs as Americans are, say what you want, are founded on a Judeo-Christian belief system.
Right.
But they did not make the laws religious laws. We got a lot of our laws from the Bible, but our founding fathers were also smart enough to know that some things can't be, if we were truly going to be a free country and to get away from what our founding fathers wanted to get away from, that we had to be free to worship in whatever way we wanted. And, we have that kind of freedom, not just for worship, but, we have that kind of freedom here. The problem I have is when you try and push it on everybody else.
Yes.
Force other people to use terminology that's not real.
Yep.
That's what in fact, I feel bad for some. I mean, I don't know where my, because like I said, we don't really talk about it, where my gay friends stand on the whole alphabet soup nonsense. Because honestly, I think that the gay community has been co-opted by a bunch of, degenerates. And I think that's sad for the legitimate people who just want to love who they want to love.
Oh, absolutely. I have because and it's not a secret. I used to teach high school, and in several of my classes, I had a couple of ladies who were living the alternative lifestyle. And so when we discussed, there's several times that we, because of the subject I was teaching, we discussed relationships. And I always pointed out, I said, whatever your relationship is, it is. You like what you like. I like what I like. I can only teach from the perspective of my knowledge. And my knowledge is that of a heterosexual. If you don't, if you're not a heterosexual or you don't follow this, that's fine. But you can interpret what I'm saying for your particular lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that was cool. There's no problem with anybody. No one had a problem with that.
Yeah.
Except a couple of teachers who, never mind.
Well,
a whole different story.
Yeah.
But when I put it like that, I said, again, I don't care who you like, what you like, as long as you're happy, everybody's healthy, everybody's safe, go for it. And to this day, I still have a student, one particular student. She actually texted me the other day and asked me how I was doing and blah, blah, blah. She's graduated and she lives with another girl and everything else. And she asked us if we can get together sometime and just chit chat. I said, sure, absolutely. I said, bring along your, and I'm not gonna mention any names again, but bring her along and we'll chit chat. And I have no problem with it, none whatsoever. You want to do it? Great, let's go.
Yeah, listen. I would prefer you didn't. I'm, a believer of God, so I prefer you did not. But I'm not going to, I can't. There's nothing. I'm not going to try and force you or keep talking to you about it. I'm going to tell you my opinion, and then we can move on.
Right. Okay. Mike says, let me see if I put this out there. He says, I got a few lady friends that are gay. I've been trying to get them to take that new prescription they got out.
I don't know if that's a joke or a euphemism or if there's some kind of
Tricks Cox again.
Jeez.
Boo, Mike, boo. And he says, and I don't really want to see it. Well, we don't want to see it either. But hey, it's if two people are going out, they want to hold hands in public, go for it. Whatever, who am I to say that they shouldn't? And it's no different than me holding hands with a girl, in my opinion. That's how I look at it. It's no different. They're not trying to impose their belief system or their sexual preference on me. That's just who they like. That's great. And maybe I'm different, but that's how I look at it. And you like who you like, I like who I like, and let's all be friends, and we're good with it. Simple as that.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to hate anybody. I hate takes far too much effort. So
exactly.
As long as you like who you want to like, as long as you're not trying to force me to call you certain words and terms that mean other stuff.
Yep. And and this is another another segue here, folks. Disney, don't they get it yet? The Walt Disney Company, when they make movies, when they have it with a homosexual theme, it bombs. When they don't, it kicks ass.
Yeah.
Like I guess Toy Story 3 is doing pretty good, is it not?
Even and that's even because gay people, even people who are gay, don't always need, like, it's like, wait a minute, if this character is not gay, why are you making them gay? It goes to why almost everybody has a problem when they change things. If you want a gay superhero, make a gay superhero. No one, I don't think, there's far less people opposed to that than you taking a character that we all know and grew up with and completely changing their story. That's what I
Right.
think a lot of the problem is. It's not that there's gay superheroes, though I'm not a big fan of that myself. That's not
Mm-hmm.
something that I necessarily want to see. But what I definitely don't want, like absolutely 100% don't want, is for you to take an existing character and change everything about them to fit a narrative.
Yes. Absolutely, 100%. Mike says, not big on PDAs of straight people holding, go for it, but I don't want to see you trying to suck face. Absolutely. I don't care if you're gay or straight. When two people are in public and you're swapping spit and shoving your tongue down each other's throat, I don't want to see it.
No.
Whether it's with the guy and a girl, two girls, two guys, regardless, I don't want to see it. Take that in the bedroom, take it privately. You don't need to be in public display of that kind of crap.
Yeah, I'm not really big on PDAs either. I mean, I don't mind. Like, I think beyond holding hands, I think what he said, beyond holding hands, or maybe an arm around each other,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe a shared kiss between people
Yeah.
is fine. Not making out like like a little peck or something like that. That's
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with any of that stuff. None of that bothers me. But yeah, if you're sucking face or draw attention to yourself, it's because you want the attention on you.
Yeah.
That's why it happens.
Hold hands, that's fine. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But and again, and this goes for any kind of relationship. I don't want to see you the tongues down each other's throats. That's in public. Sorry, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So anyway, I think we beat this horse for a while. Mike says occasionally a smack on the ass. Okay. Anyway, all right. So, I was going to get into dating advice, but I guess we just talked about dating advice a little bit there. Yeah, that was basically the thing is if something is a deal breaker for you in the dating world, find out before you start dating somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else I can phrase that. If you don't like something, find out before you start dating them. Simple as that. Yeah. I don't know why I just thought of this. If you would only drive or get in a Chevrolet car, and a person pulls up in a Ford, you don't want to get in it. Ask before they come over.
Yeah.
To pick you up. Ask before that happens. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, gee whiz, dude. Any good America stories that you heard, or segue into that? So this is another weird segue. But since it's a USA 250 anniversary, what's going on in your neck of the woods? Well, you're close to Philadelphia. Aren't they having something big going on there this weekend?
I'm not that close to Philadelphia. I know a lot of people in the podcasting world associate me with Philadelphia because it's one of the closest, it's the closest big city in Pennsylvania to me, but I'm not that close. I imagine, Harrisburg will probably do fireworks. And I know Dillsburg does fireworks. I actually got to see Mechanicsburg fireworks. They actually did them last weekend. Instead, I think it was last week. I think it was the Mechanicsburg fireworks, but there's a park not too far away from where I live, and I had to go out. I had to go down the road and stand in the middle of the street. It's not like a public road. It's like I'm in an apartment development, so it's an apartment road, not like a main road. But I had to stand in the middle of the road to see it. But I did get to see some fireworks, the Mechanicsburg fireworks being shot off from the park.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that was pretty cool. And Harrisburg usually does it. They'll probably do it Saturday night, tomorrow night.
Okay. I guess, speaking of tomorrow night, there is something going on in D.C., Washington, D.C., that is supposed to be a broadcast on television. It's supposed to be like a 45 minutes of fireworks going on.
Oh, really?
In the last few years, on the 4th of July, they've had, and I don't know what station covers it. I'm sure several stations covered it. I'm not bragging about any one particular station or promoting it or anything else. If you have a nice television at home, I would suggest turn off all the lights, except the television. And if you don't want to go out, that is, and watch the fireworks display on TV, because the last several years, the ones I've watched at least, have been spectacular. That's it's fun to watch. You're in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to worry about anything, and it's nice to watch. So I'm going to assume that's going to happen again tomorrow night.
I
I
will
don't know
definitely
for
take a
certain.
look at that. I like seeing fireworks live. I mean, you lose some, you know, it's not the same. Now I can't get to DC, so them I'll definitely,
Hmm.
put on. I'll put on a good fireworks show on TV. Absolutely.
Yes, yes. They have
But
because
if
they
I
have it
could,
synced with music and things of that sort, so it's pretty good.
okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, but I like going live to fireworks. There was one up in, we used to go camping. My grandfather owned a campground. And we would go up every 4th of July. And in the little town, this little town that was next to the campground, they would set off the most amazing fireworks that I've ever seen, even better than what Harrisburg does, the state's capital here. They let
Hmm.
off fireworks from City Island, and it's a good show, but nothing like this other small little town uh, would put on, dude. They're the best. It's up in it's Gaines. I'm sorry, Gaines, PA, and Galton is the suburb. It's a little town outside of Gaines, PA that show does this fireworks show. It's just this little
Okay.
itty bitty town. The movie theater is one of those old style single screen
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
movie
yeah, yeah.
theaters. Like it's just started getting built up recently in the past couple of years because they started fracking the mountains.
Okay.
But before that, it was, like I said, just a small little town. But there was this big lake in the town, and they let off all the fireworks from this bar, like this platform in the middle of the lake, and they light it off over the lake.
That's
And it's
cool.
definitely the best. It's definitely the best show I've ever seen in person.
There's a place close to my house that's it's a winery. They have a huge parking lot. I went there about 3 years ago, and I was walking in and walking through the driving in the parking lot, and I started counting the cars in each row, and then I just extrapolated out based on like 2 or 3 rows of cars. I counted over 2,000 cars at this place. Of that's how many people were at this small little winery. I was like, holy crap! They're supposed to have a big show going on tomorrow night. Now, unfortunately, it's scheduled to rain tomorrow, so I don't know what's going on if they're gonna still have it or not. I mean,
That's
obviously
what
they're
I
gonna have
heard.
a rain date.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. We're supposed to get some rain here in PA, I think.
Yep. But so tomorrow night, for those who are watching or playing the at-home version here, I probably will not be on tomorrow night, just for the fact that I'm going through these fireworks, which is brings up this other thing. What Mike just asked, he says, "Have you tried this dating scene?" And right now, I have a tentative date for this tomorrow night. Believe it or not, yes, believe it or not, I have a date. Um, as far as trying this dating scene, I don't. Just for the fact I live in a small town. I don't know where to go at my age, especially where to go to find somebody to start dating. I just don't do it. Um, I don't want to say you go to bars to find it because I don't like doing that. There are a few small bars in my town, but I'm not going there to pick up or hook up or anything like that. I used to be, oh God, I can't believe I'm going to say this, entrenched in the world of pickup artists and things of that sort. I
Yeah,
studied that quite a bit. And so there are a lot of techniques, a lot of, I guess you can say, manipulations that go on with that this thing keeps coming up, that I can pretty well do it and get by.
yeah.
But at my age, I'm like, nah, why bother? I mean, there are some things that can enhance the world of pickup, not dating, but just picking up. I don't know if you ever saw this. There's a series called The Pickup Artist.
I've seen a
Uh,
couple of them, at least. Well, back in my day, and then MTV days is when they had a lot of those
yeah, I
type of
think it was
shows
on
on it.
MTV or VH1 or something like that. It's called The
Yep,
Pickup Artist.
yeah,
It
probably
was
VH1 or MTV. Yep.
there was a guy. His nickname was Mystery, and he was the like pickup artist. I read his books. I think he didn't have a movie, but I read his books, and there's several other ones that that I followed. There used to be when and this is in the mid 2000s in the world of pick. This is I can't believe I'm going to say this, but in the world of pickup, there used to be around the country pockets of lack of a better term pickup artists, and they called each faction, if you will, just like in wrestling, a faction. They called each one a lair at different places. I happened to be living in West Palm Beach at the time, in Wellington, actually. I saw West Palm Beach, Wellington, Florida. And in Fort Myers, there was a pickup lair. Just like, I guess it's like a tiger lair or a lion lair, or like a bunch of the animals together. They called it a lair.
Yeah.
And so I went out with these guys a couple of times just to see how it's done. Oh my God. These guys were intense with the art of pickup. And literally, if you knew what you were watching, you would see guys literally pick up any girl they wanted. And it's not an exaggeration. Just watching these guys. And it didn't matter if these girls were with somebody or not. They could literally pick them up and take them away from whoever they were with. It was unbelievable, the techniques and the styles they were doing it. I was never that good. I couldn't do it. These guys were amazing watching this, how they did it. I mean, and I knew how they did it. I just couldn't put it into practice for myself, but it was amazing to watch them do it. So long story short, around here, I don't really have I'm not entrenched in the dating world. 1, because of my age. 2, because of my location. And 3, because the last several years, in the last 10 years, in my opinion, the Me Too, we call it the Me Too culture, has come into play. And I don't want to be Me Too'd.
Yeah.
If you know what that means. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Look it up. But I don't want to be Me Too'd, so it's easier for me just to come on and do a live stream.
Yeah, more probably financially successful too.
Oh, absolutely. Anyway, JD, my friend, it's after 10 o'clock my time. As we're going late. I've had a long day. I'm going to let you go, and then I'm going to close out my show. But tell people where they can find you and listen to your stuff and what's going on here.
So check out the Boiling Point podcast. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. And we're about to release next week. I'm going to be releasing clips this week. Next week, the new episode of A Wheelie Good Talk comes out. That's me and my buddy Connor. We're both in wheelchairs. And we talk about just kind of general stuff about living with a wheelchair, what we encounter out in public, what we encounter in our lives. And the one we're about to release, we had a guest on. And it's going to be a great episode. It might even be the best. I've liked all the episodes. They've all been doing really good with viewership. I think this one's going to be even better than the first 2. This is our 3rd episode of that series. Plus the Boiling Point podcast, we just released the first episode of God's My Story with Jason Datoli. And Pastor Gavin has a mini series I'm getting ready to release called Defeating Diabetes. And before the end of the month, I'll be releasing my mini series, Moving with Disabilities, about my moving out of my house, being homeless in a hotel, and then moving into the apartment that I live into now at the beginning of this year. I'll finally be releasing that here at the end of the month. So we got a lot of content coming out on the Boiling Point podcast. So check that out. And then the other one's Mayhem Media, which has also got crazy content coming out right now. So tune into that. The MCU series will resume next week. Hopefully Andrew will be joining us for that, even though it's not going to be his favorite episode. Hopefully he joins us for the next one. And also After the Dragon, which is our series that follows House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, is out right now with the series. It'll end when the series is over. So it's only going to be 8 episodes, but yeah, man, I'm cranking out content out of both brands right now, like crazy.
That's great. That's Mayhem Media in the Boiling Point podcast. If you're not following them on Facebook and other social media platforms, go follow them.
Yes, please.
Just that simple. All right, JD, my friend, thank you for being my guest tonight, and I'm going to let you go. But
all right,
you're always welcome here. You know that. All right,
absolutely. Thank you, man.
Bye. All right, folks. Oh, look at that. How did I get that? Where did that come from? Why is that a circle? All right. Now I got to figure out why that's a circle. It shouldn't be a circle. There we go. Okay. Hey, going back to what we were talking about earlier, there's mistakes being made everywhere. So, my get up is happy 250 USA. And I had this on earlier. But because of the lights, the way it is, I didn't keep them on. But try to be festive tonight. We had a good time. As always, JD is a great guy. as you can tell, he's talented beyond belief as well. If you have a podcast, live stream, whatever, highly recommend you engage him and have him as a guest. As you can tell, he's good. He knows what he's doing. He's very good. Tomorrow night, as of this second, as of right now, I do not plan on being here tomorrow night, which is Saturday night, which is usually when I come on. Can it change? Absolutely, it can change. Will it change? I hope not. And for reasons I just disclosed a few minutes ago. So if my date is listening, I'm not going to mention your name. I hope you are. I'm looking forward to it. And let's see if we can at least have fun watching fireworks somewhere. And if something comes from it, great. If it doesn't, let's just have a good time. All right? I'll put that out there. Okay, Mike, thanks for being on here. You're my buddy as well. I have there's a special place in my heart for you, my friend. You know that we've shared a lot of email chats and messages and a couple of voicemails and phone calls. You're a good guy. Keep it up. Yes, and I'm saying different things here, propping people up because I appreciate them. Cheers, my friends, everybody. My name is Andrew. This is Popcorn and Whiskey. I am the face who runs the place. Okay, and we'll stop it here. Until next time. Ciao.